And now I would like to welcome our next presenter, who is Amarjeet S. Bhamra, to come gift us with his wisdom and share his experience and life practices in his fields. Thank you.
Amarjeet, sorry, I'm not Amarjeet Bhamra. Amarjeet wanted a little bit of confidence from me. Just, I don't know, he just came and pulled me up from there. He wanted me to tell a little bit about what is happening. Is it clear now?
There you go.
Thank you. So Amarjeet wanted me to just introduce what is going on in the UK, because he will talk about it. The UK has all-party parliamentary group for Indian traditional sciences. And the all-party parliamentary group brings together politicians, members of parliament from the different parties. And Amarjeet, over the many years, has been handling the secretariat for the all-party parliamentary group. Number two, there is no other country in the world that has an all-party parliamentary group of this kind. We are hoping we can do something in Czechia, which may or may not happen, but at least there's a model. Number three, the work of the all-party parliamentary group has been very important. They have enabled a memorandum of understanding between India and UK. And there's a big roadmap, a strategy roadmap for up to 2030. Discussions are going on between the government. I hope something similar will happen with Germany, with Czechia and other parts. The European Union, there is some discussion going on. Within that document is, it's in 5 sections, and the 5th section is about health. The first section is about environment that Nora talked about. The 5th section is about health. And within health, it talks about yoga for the health service, for the National Health Service. The document is available online for those who want to consult. And it also talks about research into Ayurveda. So some of the points that Nandu Goswami talked about and what Dr. Baswati talked about and other speakers will talk about, it's all included in a high-level document, a strategy document at the prime ministerial level. And that's a model document for different countries that they may want to follow. And Amarjeet and his work has enabled that political decision. Up to one level, we can discuss. Scientists can discuss, clinicians can discuss, but there is a glass ceiling. And that glass ceiling is that political ceiling. And Amarjeet, with his crash helmet, as he calls it, he has been trying to, he calls it his crash helmet, and he says, I need this to break through those barriers. And he has managed this, and we are very delighted that Amarjeet ji is giving us his patronage here to hold this. And one in particular, because of the COVID context, one in particular, an area that the all-party parliamentary group found particularly important was long COVID, post-COVID syndrome. It is not discussed in any part of the world. There are a lot of people suffering with post-COVID, and with post-COVID, complicated syndrome. We don't know how to explain it. But Ayurveda offers a possibility. And Amarjeet and his colleagues and the health regulatory agency, it is an impossible dialogue, but the crash helmet has helped the dialogue. I'm hoping Amarjeet ji will tell us a little more about this. Have I done my duty? Well done. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thomas, with your permission, I start. So, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Presidium, my very close colleagues, and you especially, members of the public, without you, with whom this Congress cannot take place. So, really, thank you for inviting me here. And I want to speak to you like I would speak to my family. We are all a family. Yes, we are all a family, and I want to speak to you like a family. I don't want to speak to you about any figures and technical specifications that my previous colleagues have been giving you. So I want to just really hit home with some thoughts that I've been sort of writing since I left London, and want to share them with you. So it's a great pleasure to be in the company of dedicated global experts united by their desire to work together for the benefit of humankind. So thanking Thomas again, who I have had an association with for about, I think, 7-8 years. We first met when we had a program at the European Union Parliament. So I very kindly invited him, and he came there with his team. And since then, we have enjoyed a very fruitful relationship, and also his kind support. And obviously, as I said, I'm absolutely delighted to be here, with him. So we're witnessing an unprecedented demand worldwide for wellness, translating into a multi-billion-dollar industry. So my colleagues, today and yesterday predominantly have been speaking to you mostly about Ayurveda. Now, Ayurveda, in a nutshell, is health and happiness. If you don't have health, you can't have happiness. And so I want to share some very happy thoughts with you for the few minutes that I'm here speaking with you. So as Madanji has expounded, my own work is purely dedicated to the all-party parliamentary group on Indian traditional sciences. Now, this particular group is a composition of all traditional sciences, healing sciences of India, all sacred spiritual sciences of India, which are yoga, Ayurveda, Unani medicine, Siddha medicine, Jyotish, Jyotish, which is India's astronomy and astrology, which we use for healing, and Vastu, which is in India's environmental engineering, and also Sangeetam. Sangeetam is India's classical music, which once upon a time was used for healing. So these are all the modalities that we work with in the British Houses of Parliament. And so the idea really is that how, you see, all of us here, we know the benefits of traditional medicines, yeah? We know all about complementary medicine. And I hasten to say we also know a lot about alternative medicine. Alternative medicine is really not the right word to use, but most people use that word, yeah? So the situation is that, yesterday there was also a little debate, what is, how do we integrate allopathic medicine system into traditional medicines? Yeah, so there are very many different levels of how we can answer that question. But from my humble perspective, we see that that if we don't ask, you don't get. You see here in Czech Republic, I was nearly going to say Czechoslovakia. So in Czech Republic and in France and in India and in Italy and all these countries, at the time of the elections, all the potential political candidates come to you, yeah? They come and knock on your door and say, will you please give me your vote? So then it's up to you whether you vote in the red party or the blue party or the yellow party. It's really, or the green party. It's up to you. But what are you getting for that vote? What do they give you? Have you ever asked them, what are you going to give me if I vote for you? So, ladies and gentlemen, what we need to do through Thomas, and all my colleagues, here on the station, is we really need to have a bloc. We need to be considered as a voting bloc. So that we need to work, with political organizations and political strategists, and so, they know that this is, if we're living here and paying our bills and paying our taxes, that we also need to be cared for. We need to be looked after. And why is that not being done? It's because we don't have a voice. Yeah. And with that in mind, we created this one such voice in the UK Parliament, nearly 10 years ago. And we started this journey. And at that time, there was only Lord King and Lord Patel, who were members of the House of Lords in the UK Parliament, and together, with some of my thinking, we started this group, and now it has come to nearly 30 members of Parliament from both Houses of Parliament in England, Houses of Lords and Houses of Commons. And it's a cross-party, political party group, so it's not just members of the Red Party or the Green Party or the Yellow Party, yeah. And so, as Madanji very kindly, reminded us, that I think perhaps this is the only group, for political persuasion in any parliament anywhere on the planet. So we need to set up such groups, in nations like here, and I'm very delighted to support my very good friend, my very good colleague, Thomas, to help him to support such a group like this. And I would also like to encourage and invite our very good friend, the Member of Parliament. What's his name? The name of Parliament? Who's? Yeah. So I'd like to invite him. I'm so sorry I couldn't get your name. And my very good friend here from Italy. Huh? No. Yeah. Yes, I forgot your name. Your name,
Federico.
Federico. So Federico is also doing marvelous work. We have worked together. He holds seminars in the European Union, again relating to the subjects that we are talking about.
And Member of Parliament, Czech Republic, Mrs. Balaštíková. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so we need to see more and more of people from our own community, our own traditional medicines community, stepping outside that safe comfort zone and looking at, see, how do we develop our strategy? What is it that we can do? We don't have much time. And the time that we are here this time will not come back. Today and tomorrow will not come back. What is it that we are going to leave as a legacy for our children and their children? We work with international experts within the medical profession, the diplomatic community, and policymakers and business worldwide. So Madanji was alluding to something that, something unique that we have started doing back in the United Kingdom, and that's related to long COVID. Yeah. So as you know, many people, those who survived COVID went on to develop long COVID. And together with the Ministry of Ayush, the Government of India, and the National Health Service, which is the UK's health department, we've come together. A sufficient amount of money has been put on the table to create a study, research study of how ashwagandha, a Pacific herb that we use in Ayurvedic medicine, can actually be utilized, for this particular condition. And this study will run for 1 year. And the study is not being run by Ayurveda people. The study is being run by English or British scientists. They have no idea about Ayurveda, and that's the way it should be. We want to work with the science. We want to work with the science community. We want to work with communities that are not Ayurveda, that are not yoga, because that's the only way we'll get through. So you will be very happy to know that 2,000 patients have been identified in the UK hospitals through their doctors who are being trialed for this study now. And the results of this study should start coming in around about Diwali, towards the end of this year. And so we are hoping that writing on the back of the study that the scientific and the technical journals will pick this up and report this, and so then Ayurveda will actually be accepted as a medicine system. So people who we talk to will not think of Ayurveda as a name of a pizza or something. Is my time up? My time is up?
40 seconds.
Huh?
40 seconds.
Oh, 40 seconds. Okay. Okay. So I think that's really that's all I can say in this small time I have. And one final thing, that last week was the G20 meeting in New Delhi, which was concluded, I think, this time last week. And they made they created a declaration about how to include traditional medicines, into the world health architecture. And we support that. And I'm going to ask my dear colleague Thomas and all his colleagues to also design some sort of a resolution here at our Congress, so that we can hit hard to the political associations and the political parties of this country and the parliament here and the European Parliament of what this Congress wants. There has to be an outcome of this Congress. So we need to present that. And I'll all look forward to inviting you to the Parliament in the UK and the Parliament. We have a program coming up in the EU Parliament also towards the end of this year. Please do come and support us. This is your movement. Thank you so much.
That was Amarjeet S. Bhamra. Thank you so much for raising this awareness and speaking these truths straight into our hearts.